Hey folks, I thought I'd talk a little bit today about fear. Fear is probably one of the most driving forces in our life. There are lots of different kinds of fear that range from anxieties, and these can be clinical anxieties like, a fear of heights or the anxiety disorders that some people have. They can also be fear of the unknown. They can be fear of job loss. You name it, and they can be very, very real fears. If you're fighting in a war and people are trying to kill you, you reach a whole different level of fear. What I like to call real fear. We also have some very real and logical fears, many of which we can suspend on a daily basis. Some people fear driving in automobiles. Some people fear getting in planes. Well, these are very, very real fears, and we suspend these fears. A lot of us do. Some can't. Every time we get into a car and hurtle along at 60 miles an hour with lots of other unknown people on the road hurtling along with us, we've suspended the fear that we probably should have at doing that. The trouble a lot of us have is learning to suspend other fears which impact us on a daily basis. The anxiety disorders that I talked about earlier, these control and rule a lot of people's lives. And a lot of people do drugs on a daily basis to deal with these anxieties. And there's 100 or more different varieties of these anxieties. And everybody deals with it in some way or another. A lot of the stress we feel, and a lot of the stress that ends up killing people, is the stress that's derived from low-level fear. Fear of success, fear of failure, fear that we're just not living up to our expectations. But every guy goes through an experience in junior high school where people bully them, or they get into fist fights, or people torture them basically mentally or physically because they're different. And almost everybody goes through this at some level, some worse than others. And the more different you are, sometimes the more intelligent you are, the harder you take it, because you really want to fit in. People really want to be like everybody else. But people are all different. People are all individuals. So there is a bit of a herd mentality, and people fear what's different. And a lot of times kids are outcast because of that, and tortured, basically. We all know the stories of kids in junior high school just literally being driven to suicide, or like Columbine, driven to violence by this very interesting phenomenon that seems to go on, this peer pressure problem that we have. I'm rambling a bit here, and the fear that bothers me the most, and I've gone through every range of fear you can imagine, and I've become pretty in touch with my fears. But the fear that I have that is the most real is the fear of sociopaths. the fear of antisocial people. And these would include everything from serial killers to some political leaders that just don't seem to care about the outcome of their and the effects of their actions on real people. People that embrace money to the degree that they're willing to allow an acceptable measure of destruction and death, to stimulate the economy or something. I mean, these are the people I fear, the people that really don't, that something is broken in, and they really can't maintain their touch with humanity. This is my greatest fear, and I think the one that impacts the entire world really the most. Every culture has had its monsters. We have mythology with dragons and demons. We have the movie industry with its Draculas and Frankensteins and Freddy Kruegers. I'm not so sure that these aren't just reflections of what we're all really afraid of. What we're really afraid of are the monsters that truly exist, the monsters that walk amongst us, the Jeffrey Dahmers of the world, the Berkowitzes of the world, the people that are antisocial, sociopaths, that are broken, that don't really feel about humanity the way the rest of us do, that don't care, that don't see anything wrong. The Hitlers of the world, the Stalins of the world, the Mao Zedongs of the world, that will murder millions of people for some ideal, for some idealistic venture, for money. Those are the people we need to fear. Those are the people we need to keep our eyes open for. Because unlike the monsters in the movies, they're not gone at the end of the movie. They're still around and they're still doing their damage. So we have to be vigilant. We have to keep our eyes out. And when we spot these people, we need to speak out about it. We need to make sure that they don't get away with it. Because antisocial people can be very charming. They're very intelligent usually. They have lots of qualities that allow them to hide from us. But when the rubber meets the road and you see that they place some ideal above human life, then you know. Then you know. Anyway, we'll talk about this more later. Fear is an incredible topic and deserves hours and hours of discussion. I won't bother you with that today, though. Thanks. Bye.